virus on no cruise, and I can prove it to you in 3 minutes. First of all, you're telling me that 2 crazy psycho things happened at the exact same time on cruise ships, and one of them just happened to be involved with the biggest company in the entire universe? No. Then how are y'all even going to believe that one person on the whole cruise ship, you know how big a cruise ship is and how many people they have on it? Look it up. And you think the only person was some dude alone in his room? He was the only one to post a video on social media crying, saying he wanted to get home? Leads me to number 3. You're telling me that they just eventually let these people dock and didn't quarantine them and just let them go free to jump on a plane, travel, car, go home, walk around in the universe, not knowing if this is spreading from person to person or if it was just a crazy thing that 3 people got it? No. So first of all, the virus, you can't even, it don't even make sense from the start because it can't be transferred to people. Well, then they said there was 3, so then they had to backtrack and change their lie. If it don't make sense, it ain't true. Okay? There's no way that's true. So, if you believe that it is true, we can't be friends no more, because that is a crazy why you can't believe nothing on the media, nothing on the news. Why I don't watch the news, because at the end of the day, I just pick the news report that I like, that believes in what I believe in and tells me what I want to hear. That is crazy. That never happened. You can't convince me that it happened. I don't care what you say. I don't care what facts you say. I don't care. There's no possible way that virus was on that cruise ship and that happened to Disney at the same exact time. You'll never convince me otherwise. Don't care. I love a good conspiracy theorist. And this never happened.
News channels and TikTokers are fear-mongering the Hunta virus, if you guys didn't know. Just some research. The last time the Hunta virus, the Andes strain, went and broke out, it only, I think it was like 45 people got hit with it, and only 11 Argentina. This is why doctors and CDC, or WHO, are saying that, hey, this is low risk. That's why they're saying that. But if you notice that not one TikToker has said that, they're just fear-mongering. They're going to get clout. Every 1 million views, $300. They're not going to mention, oh, yeah, by the way, here's why WHO is saying that. This is why they're not freaking out. This is why they let them all out. And I bet you right. I think the pastor lady, I get wrong. Do I got to check it right now? Check me if I'm wrong. The pastor lady that they said got the Hunta virus ended up not having it. Why? Because it doesn't spread like that. It doesn't spread from like a person coughing on another person. It doesn't. It's literally, you got to be there where the rat droppings are happening or wherever it is. It doesn't work that way. It's not common. That's why the Hunta virus has been here for years. We've had this thing, especially in Argentina, South America, and I think it can be in the America too, for I think deers or something. It's never blown up. Think about this. Creator sitting there running it up every day, they're getting bagged up off of fear-mongering. See my video. My last video didn't even blow up because I kept it safe. It's lame.
So I went to sleep last night after a totally wonderful, stressful day. And I woke up, y'all, puffy, boys gone, exhausted. Is it Hunta virus? No. Let's dismantle some myths about Hunta virus and then understand a little bit about why we're all so anxious. So y'all know I'm one of the creators with the World Health Organization. There's a group called Fighties where they get doctors and professionals to come on this app, come on social media, and dispel myths and talk about misinformation. So one of the beliefs that people have about Hunta virus is that it is as contagious or similarly as contagious as COVID. It is not. And another myth, people believe they can treat Hunta virus with ivermectin. That old chestnut is back. Ivermectin is an anti-parasitic medication, and Hunta virus is a, say it with me class, virus. And I'm no medical doctor. I have a PhD over here in clinical psychology, but I do know there's a difference between viruses and parasites. So there's also a belief that people think you can use antibiotics to treat it. Again, antibiotics do what? They impact and kill and fight off bacterial infections. Hunta virus is a virus. But let's talk about why myths and misinformation take root in our psyche. That is something I can talk about. We have all been through an absolutely overwhelming trauma. Whether you believed in the COVID pandemic or not, whether you thought it was constructed by the government or a sign of the end of the world, we were traumatized. And a lot of people are probably experiencing symptoms of PTSD, nightmares, numbing thoughts, a desire to avoid having conversations or thinking about it. Hypervigilance, which is what we're seeing here. Hypervigilance is this act of being so on alert for the next sign of something that could be dangerous that you could protect yourself to a degree, but you also end up inadvertently misreading cues. Your brain really wants to keep you safe, so it's looking for anything you can do to protect yourself. And it begins to add meaning to the things that it's doing. So it says, okay, there's another potential disease out there. What do I do? Because it's seeking safety. So you hear someone say, try this medication. And because you deeply want to be safe, you want to believe what they're saying. It's called the default to trust. Humans, we have to trust one another, because if we don't, chaos would ensue. I'm walking down the street. I have to trust and believe that the people driving down the street are not just going to run me over. Because if I was thinking every single minute of every single day that I was going to be hurt and attacked, hypervigilance, then that would make my life much more difficult. So to decrease that internalized anxiety, we believe people. But not everyone means to lie to you. Not everyone is an expert, and they just don't know what they don't know. So I know it's tantalizing to listen to a lot of the misinformation on this app, because it kind of scratches an itch for you. It makes you feel a tiny bit more safe in a world that has proven itself to be very scary. But based on what actual experts have said about hantavirus, we are dealing with something different this time. One of the differences that I've noticed is we're on top of this as a global community within days to weeks of it happening. There's a very small, specific community of people that were infected, that were in very close quarters on that boat, so it makes contact tracing much easier. It's a disease that we know about, we know exists, and from what I've heard and read, it doesn't seem to replicate or pass on to other people when people are asymptomatic. So this is not the same as it was before, but I understand why people are worried. It's self-protective to be worried. It's natural. It's in alignment with what we all just went through and did not process. Like, we all just went back to work and tried to pretend like millions of people didn't just die a few years ago. But this time, you're okay. So don't listen to tons of misinformation about this from people who don't know what they're talking about. Take some time off of social media to re-regulate, get back into your body, feel your own heart rate, feel it slow down. Research only when needed. That was my toxic trait during the pandemic. I just wanted to read absolutely everything. And so I became a walking compendium of knowledge about COVID, and nobody wanted to talk to me. But at the end of the day, remind yourself, this time, it is a little different.
Hey, cousin, good morning. So look, is it real or is it not? Because I'm over here hooting and hollering. Let me know if I'm hooting and hollering for nothing, okay? Let me know if apparently I've been scrolling, still looking at. They trying to say now it's like 100 some people got this. Some people done got off. It's spreading anyway. But then I got people also saying real. It's not real. They're trying to use this as a cover up for the Disney. Apparently, they was doing some I think it's called CSAM. Whatever that child, y'all know, child corn, CSAM. Anyway, apparently they don't stop. Disney Cruise and done got some. It was like 28 people that they stopped on several different cruises, but one of those cruises was they done set up, and I get they trying to say that this is a cover up for that, but I already tried to tell y'all, the world has gotten so used to this type of crime that it's kind of not as shocking as there's in the middle of the water with the Hunta virus, and it's spread from person to person, and it's half the people that can get it. You see how that sound? But let me know if this, because I'm scared. I don't have time for another panorama. I don't have time to be in another. I don't got time for that. Let me know. Somebody give me a hoot and a holler or not. And then also, my good brothers and sisters on the internet were pointing out the fact that this cruise ship has over 3,000 passengers. 3,000 passengers in the year of 2026, where everybody got from Argentina, from After you're in China, I don't know where you are in the world, you have a phone that has internet, and everybody has some sort of social media. Ain't nobody posting. Ain't nobody from. Did they turn the Wi-Fi? Did they confiscate on the cruise ship? Because why ain't nobody posting nothing? Nobody. It was that one man in that was very sketchy talking about he won't go home. Literally, only that one man. I promise to God, ask anybody on the internet. You only seen that one man. Everybody has only seen. Nobody has seen anybody else from. And on top of that, they don't have no brothers, sisters, cousins, mamas, daddies, wives, husbands. Ain't nobody else got on the internet be like, oh my God, I miss my mama so bad. Let her off the boat or something. Nobody had. Don't. Is this real or not?